What is up, self-made homestead family? Today, I am using the Pocket Rocket, fueled by pellets. Remember, it's a tri-fuel stove. It'll run off of charcoal, it'll run off of brush, timber, and twigs. It'll run off of pellets. Today, I'm using the insane heat that the pellets provide to make an awesome beef dish, an open flame, using the grate and my cast iron skillet. Stay tuned to the end, and this will be recipe 2 in the Off-Grid Gour-Maye series. I'm really hyped up. Got the boss inside. Everybody's getting hungry. I'll show you right now. Look, while it's daylight, I got the hopper full of pellets, okay? I made a short yesterday with flames that were 18 inches tall, running that, okay? So we're gonna use some pellets today to get this thing going nice and hot. And I remember in the build video that I explained, I made that grate big enough to hold my large cast iron skillet. And so today, you're gonna get to see me use it. We're gonna start in it by sauteing some bacon, onions, and broccoli together, and then adding the beef, and finishing with some noodles. I'm gonna use some linguine noodles and make an awesome garlic noodle dish with beef and bacon. It's one of my favorites to make real quick on a campfire setting, to show you that you can eat high dollar restaurant meals from an off-grid setting. So stay tuned to the end and get this recipe in your book. It's Mike May signing in live and direct from the Self-Made Homestead, inviting you to episode 2 of the Self-Made Off-Grid Gour-Maye series. Okay, so while I've got the linguine boiling down, I'm going to prep my veggies and my proteins for the cast iron. Okay, so my linguine is done. I've got it sitting here ready to go. That's my broccoli and my onions. And then in this bowl I have my proteins. I've got some beef eye of round thin cuts sliced into strips, and I've also got some bacon in there sliced into strips. So what I'm gonna do here is get the stove started. You see, got it going over here. Getting ready to have some fire going. And once that's going, I'll get my cast iron going. But the process goes in that order. So you're gonna add the proteins, get those cooked, add the veg, and then you're going to add the pasta, okay? You're gonna need a wooden or a non-conductive spoon. So a metal one would be a little hot in this setting, as you can imagine. I like to use this guy because it takes me back to my roots. I used to get popped with one of those for eating off of the raw cookery, straight out of the pan, as they say. Anyway, here I've got a knob of butter and all of my seasonings. So once I get to the third step, I'll season everything. It'll be nice and tasty. Using the render from the beef and the pork to make everything tie together. And you'll see at the end, it'll be a nice, even balance. Also, a little pro tip, I've got a little bit of butter here for the beef to get down with, as well as the pork to make a nice base that we were talking about. That'll carry into the veg, and all of those will marry into the pasta. But to start with, I use a little bit of salt and some olive oil to coat my pan so that nothing sticks, okay? So I'll check back in once I got the fire going, but that's what your table should look like, okay? Nice, neat, and organized. Okay, so the fire has been lit, and we're warming up the cast iron now. First up, proteins. Once the cast iron's good and hot, we'll get the proteins going, but that's the hardest part because it comes together really quickly after that. So here we go. Proteins in, that's the next shot. Now we got some sizzle happening. I got the beef and the pork in there. I sliced everything thinly in the strips, so it'll play well as the dish goes as far as portion control is concerned, as well as bite. You don't want to be overpowering people with too big of a bite. But look at the flame coming through. Got nice consistent heat coming out of this bad boy, warming up the cast iron nicely. After the proteins have the color I want, I'll go ahead and add the veg. All right, so now I've got a little color to my proteins. I'm gonna add the veg and finish the saute process. And now we add the seasonings. It's coming together. Getting the colors I want. The seasonings will help everything get darker too. I want to get a little bit of crisp on the beef before we add the noodles. Proteins and veg looking good. Getting that sizzle that I want. Everywhere in the pan, nice even heat. Veggies got the right color. They're not mush. Perfect doneness. Let's go combine those with the noodles, shall we? It's almost dinner time. The next step is the plating. And there it is. Off-Grid garlic noodles and steak with eye round, bacon, broccoli, sauteed onions, and linguine noodles. If you like this video, mash that subscribe button. We're about to make this disappear.